Here we go. Hear, O Israel, the great I am is the only power for you. The great I am is one. Speak peace on the seventh day of rest. Rise, O Israel. Welcome to World War III. Today's discussion will be about Aboriginal races in America, or Aboriginal races in general. Now, before we get started, I'd like for you guys to go and check out our video on the 10 lost tribes. Before you look at this video, please, it's down in the link below. Please, it's linked below. Please go look at that video before you look at this video, so that you can get a general understanding of what's being discussed today. It's going to help your Indigenous Hebrew Israelite awakening. Now, let's get started. I'm gonna give you a quote from a Samuel George Morton, and he wrote a book back in July 1st, 1844. And again, I remind you, this book was written during the United States chattel enslavement of the Negro. Quote, and it's out of the book called Aboriginal Races of America, which is the title of this video. Quote, these facts, however, are mere acceptations to a general rule, an acceptation to a general rule, and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian, which is an undeviating, Let me read that again. These facts, however, are mere acceptations to a general rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian, which is an undeviating characteristic of the Negro, unquote. This was written in 1844 during chattel enslavement of Negroes, putting the Negro in the category of the Indian. The problem with most Negroes is that they truly don't know who they are or what tribe they come from. That is as easy as reconnecting to your ancestors, just like the Messiah did during the Transfiguration in the Bible. That's a damage that you are soon to find out about. But folks, this is one of the biggest damages that reparations are so long overdue. This is a big damage. Many of such colorful people, don't even, they're going to go back and vote in the coming election. They're going to go back and petition a historically racist government as black people. They're going to continue living as black people. A term given to them by a racist culture in a racist political philosophy. Now, Webster's 1828 dictionary reads, American, which is a noun. American, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races. That word race is plural, meaning they found various different shades of colorful people in the Americas. And again, it goes on to say found here by the Europeans. Who are the Europeans? The people who came over here on boats and saw these various shades of colorful people in the Americas. But now, it goes on to say, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Okay, so they found these various different colorful Indians. That means you Negroes and you Native Americans, you Latinos, they found you guys here together. And then they decided that they're just going to call themselves American. Since they're born over here, they call themselves American. that it's funny that, that's what Jewish people have done with the Bible. They started calling themselves Jews based off of their religious ideology. But again, all the ancient historians call the Jews black. But that's something that you guys don't read. That's something you guys need to catch up on. But again, here we're talking about the Aborigines in America. The name, and the end of that Webster's Dictionary quote, it says the name American must always exalt the pride of patriotism. And they're getting that quote from their first president, General George Washington. Now, listen up. Public Law 49, the 49th Congress, and 105th Session. So Public Law 49-105, which is also Statute at Large 24 Statute 388. And this is in its title, or it's codified as U.S. Code, as a U.S. Code in the Indians, which was a section created in the Indian law system of the United States, 25 U.S. Code, Chapter 9, subsection 331. This was a Indian rule that was created during the time, I guess, the Dawes Acts or whatnot. The Dawes Act, Senator Dawes or something like that. But anyhow, it's created racism. They said that we're looking at these Indians. We have these Indians that we found here, and they're all based on different colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide these black Indians from these other colorful Indians. Not only that, we're not going to recognize. One more time. The United States does not recognize many different Indians. There's federally recognized Indians and there's unrecognized Indians. Y'all need to know that. What the government has done is they went back in 1996, I'll say, 1990, or the 19... what I have here is the American Indian Religious Freedom Act, and I believe it was done by President Clinton. And again, it's 42 USC subsection 1996, and it's a public law 95-341, statute at law 92 stat 469. And again, it's Native Americans coming to terms with, hey, we live in this government, but you guys are telling us that our natural resources, peyote, marijuana, whatever it is, those natural things that come of the earth, they use it in their religion. The United States says that, there's a federal law against these timetable drugs that they call these drugs that alter your mind. Well, Native Americans have been using those for centuries, and now you have this young U.S. government, which is only 200, almost 300 years old, come and they say, okay, well, now the earth that the resources that you are using are illegal, but the Indians have been doing this for long before the United States. So the United States said in this American Indian Religious Freedom Act, hey, you can use that stuff in your culture. And that's one thing that Indians have their sovereign right to do here in the United States. That's just one thing. They have been given lands by their conquered, or the people who conquered them have given them reservations to say. But what is not being told to many of you colorful people, you haven't been told that colorful people were found here, as described in the Webster's 1828 dictionary. You weren't told that various colorful people have been found here by Europeans, and you're not being told that the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People is about you. You're not being told that. And the 16th of December 2010, the first black president, he told the United States that the United States is going to support that. Again, you various different shades of colorful people. President Obama, back in 2010, said he's going to support the indigenous rights of people internationally. The rights of indigenous people. Do I have to say it again? The United Nations General Assembly, in its resolution 68/237, it proclaimed the International Decade for the People of African Descent. And they call you Africans, and they treated you like Africans. And they're looking at this. They have been looking at this since 2015, and it goes on until 2024. This is an international decade for the people of African descent. They're looking at you as Africans. They're looking at you as black people, the terms that they call you. Here's another thing that's on the international community. The Declaration of Granting Independence. Let me give it to you this way. The years 2011 to 2020, that means this year, from 2011 to 2020, these years are known as the third international decade for the eradication of colonialism. For the eradication of colonialism. For the eradication of colonialism. Why haven't you Americans been notified about this? Why? You know, they divided and conquered you. When they found you, came and told you that you're black. And they even got you listed on the Office and Budget Management as black people so that they can collect taxes from you. When all you have to do is petition as an Indian. All you have to do is petition as an originally indigenous person. All you have to do is petition as your true identity as Hebrews. And this has nothing to do with racism. This has everything to do with going back to this government which identified you as a color code, going back to them and telling them, hey, look, I no longer want to be on your color code roster. I want to be originally indigenous. I want to be a Hebrew. And for those of you who practice Ma'at or whatever it is you want to be, practice the law of Ma'at. I don't know how far that'll get you, but you folks who are fully recognized and recognized on the international community and even in ancient history, you folks who are fully recognized throughout beyond all the racism that's happening to you, you are the ones that can go directly and say, I am a Hebrew. I am indigenous. I am Aboriginal, autonomous. You know, you can say all these things. You can petition this government that is now actively listening to these ideas. I am proof of one of those people who have petitioned, or at least the military for that matter. I'm going to end this note right there, right here and now. I'll let you guys know that I am a conscientious objector. I am an administrator of peace. And I am also a Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew Israelite out.